Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you today? We're doing great here. It's Tuesday morning. Now we have a quick update. Hold on, I'm making sure I don't make noise during the show. We know our Roku app is not running, and we apologize for that. But we built a new app for Roku, and we're just going to tell you we did not realize when we built the new app that the old one would come down and we'd have to have the new app republished. It's just something we're not the deep state corporate corrupt media. We don't have dollars. But anyhow, so we apologize, and we will be launching that. We got a message from Roku that it will be published on the 25th. So we'll get the word out on all of our social media. I want to get this right up front. We'll get the word out with all of our social media, and we'll do a massive campaign everywhere to let you know the Roku app is live, it's new, it's improved. We understand that if you already have a Roku Voice of Rural America app on your TV, nothing will change. So just wanted to get that out to start the day. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, Rumble can be tricky also. It's Tuesday morning. Just a quick note. We support Rumble here because when YouTube let us down and X'd us, maybe we shouldn't say X. That was Elon Musk that come along and gave us a platform. But when YouTube said no more, Rumble stepped up. We've never been in Rumble jail, not once. But someone said, I have difficulty sometimes finding the live show on Rumble every once in a while. Go to Rumble, Voice of Rural America, Rumble, and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Now, you can be a monetary subscriber, but you can subscribe, and that way when we're live on Rumble, you will get notifications that we're live. So anyhow, a little housekeeping this Tuesday morning. I knew it would happen. I knew it was coming. We got a lot to go over today because I had a little bit of time yesterday to ponder. Do you like to ponder? Let me get this set. I don't like this. Hi, Dan. Oh, by the way, I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Mornings are better with BKP Politics, one of my favorite cups. And hi, Diane. So I had time to ponder. You ever get time to ponder? And I was thinking yesterday, when was this going to happen? When would this take place? And it did exactly what I thought. And then yesterday afternoon, I'm pondering once again with the kids, do not try this at home. Do not try this at home. I'm pondering once again with a cheap cigar out back. And Bill Quinn calls from the Georgia Record, or I may have called him. We run in different lanes. And what I mean by that is he has a focus on some different things internationally. CDM, Todd Wood, Bill Quinn, they have some international focus that they work on. They do some deep diving on some things. And I study the mainstream corporate corrupt media and the narrative they're trying to put out and what they're trying to hide from us out there. So we exchange phone calls from time to time. And yesterday afternoon, I was pondering again with a cheap cigar, and I got on the phone with Bill Quinn, the Georgia Record, and CDM Media. And Bill and I are talking about Russia. All right. We're having a conversation about Russia. Now, let me ask you a question before we really kick this day off. In my lifetime, in your lifetime, in your grandfather's lifetime, can you remember when we were at war with Russia? Can you remember a time? Can you send this to me? Now, I'm serious because we're going to talk about a lot of things today. And again, I want to thank Bill yesterday for prompting some thought. You know, you got to do that every once in a while with old BKP, but prompting some thought. And I asked Bill yesterday, I said, so when in history have our troops, American history, our troops, our men back then, recently women, men and women, at any time engaged directly with Russia as the enemy? Right? Now, Eisenhower comes home and, you know, I don't want to do the History Channel in 30 seconds, you know, and have everybody start texting me. So, thank you very much. You're so kind. I have a poll watcher that is out doing his civic duty. This great poll watcher that just always sends me a wish you well on the show. I'm all stressed out. I'm not at home watching BKP. Thank you so much. But what I'm getting at is, think about this. Now, again, this is not a Glenn Burns documentary, but so World War II, Russia's on our side, and we can go into who sacrificed what, who saved Europe, who saved Australia's ass, whatever it may be. But after that, you know, the USSR, Russia felt the advancement coming. And Eisenhower comes home and he warns us of the military-industrial complex. Now think of this is World War II. Eisenhower comes home. He becomes president of the United States. In his farewell speech, Dwight Eisenhower, in his farewell speech, now Joe McCarthy, we're looking for communists everywhere. So we come back, we're looking for communists everywhere. And let me be very clear on this show. We have no communists that work in our network. No communist. All right. And at no time, Diane, myself, or anyone affiliated with this network have we had any kind of affiliation with the Communist Party. Just want to be clear. But we come home from World War II and we're looking for communists everywhere, right? Joe McCarthy, whatever. We're looking for them in Hollywood, everywhere. We're going to search out the communists. I'm good with that. But here's the thing. Eisenhower leaves. And Eisenhower's farewell speech warns you and I of the military-industrial complex. Now, when Eisenhower gets home, and again, this is not a Glenn Burns history, I just want to say some things of where we're at today with Russia and Ukraine. All right? So when Eisenhower gets home, readiness. We start going into the review everything that happened. Review everything that happened. Review Pearl Harbor. Review what happened in Europe. Our troops. Readiness, being prepared. What if they come to America? What if we're ever attacked on our soil. So the Interstate Commerce Commission, right? So Eisenhower says, and I'm going somewhere with this, so relax. So Eisenhower says, you know what? We need to be prepared to move tanks, to move military equipment across this country at ease in the event that someone attacks the lower 48, or we have to move equipment rapidly. So interstates are created. They're not created for an exit to get off for Buc-ee's. They're not created for an exit to stay at a Holiday Inn Express. They're created to move Americans and move weapons at a rapid pace across the country. That's when interstates were created. And I don't know if you know this, but I don't know if it still applies. But yeah, I don't think we build new interstates out there anymore because of the grasshopper or something that we can't, put concrete over. But that being said, that within every 10 miles, Eisenhower, you had to have a 1 mile of straight stretch in case we had to land aircraft. This is no joke. So now I'm going to get past that. I just had to throw it in there. But what I'm getting at is we came back and we had to prepare. And we were sold, Eisenhower, we're sold that, you know what? The next war, we won't have time to turn a Chrysler plant into a plant that will produce tanks. We won't have time to see if Rosie the Riveter will do this or do that. We don't have time to turn a Westinghouse factory that will soon be in China anyhow, but we don't have time to turn that into a ammunition, whatever. We don't have time. What we need is a full-time military complex of readiness, right? No, going somewhere. So we created the military-industrial complex, and we're starting to have our own companies pop up, get contracts. We start having this major defense budget in spending because we have to be ready and prepared for what? What Russia will do. Now, at this time, it's not what China will do. We weren't preparing at this time as Kennedy comes in, he beats Nixon, he comes in, pay attention. This is a point where Kennedy and Khrushchev were discussing peace. But we had to have an enemy. Russia was coming soon. Russia has the bomb. Russia could attack. Russia could reach our shores. And we created a Cold War. We created NATO, Russian aggression, right? Created NATO. We created the Cold War. In my lifetime, Russia's never attacked the United States of America that I'm aware of. In my lifetime, Russia has never attacked the United States of Americans' interest that I'm aware of worldwide. But our media, our CIA, right, our industrial complex, military industrial complex, our deep state government has led me to believe at my age, I grew up that Russia was just absolutely terrible and we have a Cold War and we must defeat Russia. You were never totally, because they were going to take over. We allowed China to move forward. That was good. Nixon goes to China, opens up China. Well, that was great. According to this side, China wasn't the sleeping Cold War. It was great that we were expanding China's economy, opening up China to the world. China had all the positive propaganda you could ever give to a country possible. I mean, I have to say it's not recent, not in the last couple years, but it's not until recent years that China switched to a threat. And why did China switch to a threat? Now, Reagan comes along, and Reagan and Gorbachev, tear down the wall. Tear down the wall. I know the USSR, you have Poland, you have Ukraine, you have this area here. And in general, that's your hedge against NATO. That is your buffer zone against NATO coming to Mother Russia, right? And Eisenhower, we're convinced that Russian aggression is coming next, so we have to create NATO. Now, you're going to tell me, well, the Russians killed millions. The Russians did this. I get it. I'm talking about America first. So when Gorbachev and Reagan wanted peace with Russia. Reagan wanted peace with Russia. And I'm not saying Russia's innocent. I want to be very, very clear. But he wanted peace. So if you have peace with Russia and you start reducing your nuclear warheads, you have to have an enemy somewhere. So your next real Cold War threat comes from China, and then your next wars, you go into Afghanistan, you go to Iraq, right? Now, I'm not leaving Vietnam and those great Vietnam vets, great people that were used, these young men and women that were used in the senseless war of Vietnam. Now, what I'm getting at is, why Alaska? Why did Trump meet Vladimir Putin in Alaska? So I'm thinking, in my lifetime, why do they keep creating that Russia is my particular enemy? Now, he may be an enemy of Europe, list goes on, but why? So I'm talking to Bill yesterday, and we're having this discussion, and they're working on it pretty intensely over there. And when I say validate, are you aware, Diane, can you give me number 44? Or are you aware that these two guys, before the assassination of JFK, sought peace with the Soviet Union? Now, we have the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's a standoff. Some of you know the story. If you don't, that's on a different day. You do realize you have a Cuban crisis again today. Yes. That the Russian parliament, I forget the name of it, has ratified an agreement with Cuba. Well, don't get shocked if one day we come on here and report that there's a Russian military base in Cuba. So they're working on peace. You got the Cuban Missile Crisis. Before the assassination of JFK, sought peace with the Soviet Union. Now, we have multiple JFK reasoning for his assassination. That's not going to get sidetracked on that. But Now keep in mind at this time right here, because we're going to go where we're at with Russia today. At this time right here, this is the president, JFK. This is the first president after Eisenhower and the creation of the military-industrial complex. So he goes into office with a full warning of the military-industrial complex and what it will do. And see, at this point right here, we, the Americans, we're already prepared to grow the industrial complex, military-industrial complex, and we already have the plans in place to create Russia as the evil empire for the reasoning to have to keep growing all the way up to $1 trillion military budget. And these, Raytheon or whatever, or, Martin Marietta, all the list goes on. This is going on. So I wanted to ask, so this out here, Diana, I'm going to go to 45, but I'm not ready. I'm not ready on 45. So this one right here, I know I have it. Where's it at? Hang tight. It's coming. No, wait a minute. Where did I put that at? I know I have it. Because there it is. Give me number 49. So this is out here on the internet. You can find this, right? Kennedy-Khrushchev World Peace Bridge could and should be built between Alaska and Russia at once. Now, this is going around the internet as part of what is considered a top secret or a secret document that Russia has released. This is saying that Kennedy and Khrushchev, you can see Russia, you can see Alaska, you can see the Alaskan Highway, that's from Alaska all the way down through Canada into the United States. And this is called the Kennedy-Khrushchev World Peace Bridge, could and should be built between Alaska and Russia at once. All right. So I thought, well, wait a minute. Let's AI this. Let's just throw it in AI and see if AI is already running with this. So I did. Give me number 45. The peace bridge between Russia and Alaska was a Cold War era concept, not a deal that was actually made, but a proposal for Kennedy-Khrushchev World Peace Bridge, connecting the two countries via the Bering Strait, which there is no evidence that President Kennedy making a direct deal with Russia for the project. Some recently declassified Russian files include the concept as a symbol of potential unity and a response to Kennedy's focus on de-escalation and peace talks. So there was a concept. JFK, Russians are saying this was in place. Now, this is Alaska. So let's go ahead with video 13.
Not all Americans know that the US and Russia are actually much closer to each other, just 2 miles apart. And more than that, they are even connected. Sometimes, and here is why. The countries are separated by the Bering Strait. And if we look closer here, we can see two tiny Diomede Islands which are 2.4 miles apart and divide the mainland of the US and the mainland of Russia. Little Diomede belongs to the USA, and it is home to one of the most isolated towns in the USA called Diomede, with a population of 82 people. Big Diomede belongs to Russia and it is uninhabited. Only military personnel are present. Therefore, Diomede is the closest American town to Russia, separated by 2 miles of water. And the point is that in the winter, the water freezes and creates an ice bridge between the two countries, and thus making it possible to cross the border by land. Interesting that there is an international date line between these two islands. The difference between them is 21 hours, and if you cross the border from the US side, you will be in the future and become a kind of time traveler.
Okay, so many of you know this, the Bering Strait. Now, that leads me to speculation. That leads me to why Trump met with Vladimir Putin in Alaska. There was a lot of people. Why would he bring him to Alaska? It's not fancy. I'm not saying there's not some very nice things in Alaska, but it's not like a military base. Why Alaska? You see, I think President Trump, outside of this little sawed-off runt, never forget, Zelensky is the guy that stabbed Trump in the back, right? Zelensky is the perfect phone call, right? Because we all know Ukraine is corrupt, and we're not vindicating Russia like it's this amazing place. But Russia has a strong background before we start attacking BKP in Christianity, right? Strong background in Christianity. Now, let me move forward. We all know Ukraine is absolutely corrupt. Putin has said how many times he wants the Nazis out of Ukraine. I think it's interesting that our media will go after anyone that's ever said the word Nazi or Hitler in America and destroy them. But they have no interest whatsoever of when Putin says something about the Nazis in Ukraine. So we all know Ukraine is massively corrupt. It's a laundromat of corruption. Why do you think our politicians love Ukraine? Why do you think they absolutely love Ukraine? And they've tried to bring Trump kicking and screaming into helping Ukraine. Trump would prefer, in my opinion, to have peace with Russia, maybe build the peace bridge to separate Russia from China, right? Kindly isolate China a little more, grow Russia's economy, clean up the corruption in Ukraine, but it's too profitable for our lawmakers in D.C. and Zelensky and his parliament that are no kings, that are the kings and dictators of the Ukrainians, while weird, crazy white people are marching in the streets in the United States. So there's going to be another meeting with Trump, and I'm going to go into Russia right after this. I want to wrap this up, and then we're going to go into, I knew this would happen. So before we wrap this up, you ever notice, because I want to come back with this, I knew this would happen. I was sitting outside yesterday pondering, and where's it at? 35, the attack. The attack. New York City. New York City, and I'm not talking about salsa. Just walk away. I knew this was coming, this attack. We'll talk about that. You ever notice when it comes to illegal immigration, the deep state, corporate, corrupt media can give you these, number 79? They can show you these heartbreaking stories. But when we return, we'll show you not such a heartbreaking story. Well, it is a heartbreaking story, but it's not quite this kind of deep state, corporate, corrupt media manipulation that they run. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to be right back after these brief messages. We'll wrap up. No, we'll do a couple other stories, then we'll wrap up Russia at 9. Take a break, Diane.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
How are you? How are you? How's your mom and them? How's your mom and them? How are you? I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. How are you today? Hi, Diane. How are you? Good. Glad to hear it. Now, have you noticed? I'm in a really good mood today. Yesterday, I get out of sorts. Yesterday, I really enjoyed the show, but I had some problems with some video. But anyhow, let's not go into that. But today, I'm rip-roaring, and I'm ready for the Georgia Hour. The Georgia Hour, the weasel will reappear in the Georgia Hour. So, that was funny. What you just sent me was funny. It showed up. It was funny. So have you noticed, give me number 61. Have you noticed the appearance of this young lady? Just going to put it out there. You know, this is a time release capsule. Have you noticed MTG's daughter, Lauren Green, is becoming active? Hopefully, unlike her mother. Oh, I know he didn't do that. That was wrong. I should have never said anything like that. But have you noticed that this nice, lovely young lady, Lauren Green, Marjorie Taylor Greene's daughter, is becoming active on social media? Keep an eye on that. Nice young lady that I'm aware of. Nothing wrong with coming out of the shadow there, starting to become a little active with mom. But I just wonder, just put it out there and pay attention. Now, next. Were you wondering, 63, and this never made sense to me, right? This never made sense. I was wondering why would somebody set themselves on fire? Right? Remember this aide, this congressman's aide, set herself on fire. So this was 5 hours ago. This was like in the middle of the night. I picked this up at like 5 a.m. this morning. Married Congressman Rep. Tony Gonzalez had alleged affair with the aide just before she apparently set herself on fire. Police have currently blocked release of the 911 call and other significant evidence. There's one to pay attention to. Keep your eye on that one. All right, so the media, my dad used to get in trouble all the time for sucking his teeth. I know you didn't like that. Give me number 79. So the media continues to show these heartbreaking stories, right? Family, and man, did you guys get fired up on me yesterday. Hey, look, every single day on this program, I'm going to shy away from bringing you things and asking you questions. That's not going to change. And I mean, I enjoy when you send me text messages in agreement on something, but I'll say this, it's not as enjoyable as when you're fired up and you're giving it to me. I mean, I was getting boom, boom, boom. It was great. Now, so on the illegals, they want to show you every video, right? Because their job is to divide us, and their job is to present things that will not play well to the people. Always remember, you're in the audience of the narrow percent that pay attention. And it's our job to come on every day, or you with your neighbors, to say, maybe pay attention. So the media wants you to see every mom separated from a child, every child crying because the mom is being ripped away, every couple that's being separated, everyone that has a great job. They make sure you see every bit of that because it doesn't play well with the people. And it does have the people fired up. It even has people like Joe Rogan and many others fired up. But let me show you something they won't play. They seem to give me number 64. Now, they won't play this. Here are two. Now, this is happening, and you've got to dig to get these stories. 2 Guatemalan illegals arrested in Georgia for trafficking and raping a 14-year-old girl. Right? Give me video 6, Diane.
New tonight, we're learning 2 men here illegally face human trafficking charges in Fort Valley. Virgilio Vasquez and Napoleon Gomez, age 38, from Guatemala, are in jail tonight. They're charged with human trafficking, rape, and child molestation. Attorney General Chris Carr's office said the men targeted a 14-year-old, also from Guatemala. About a month ago, Carr's office said their gang prosecution unit picked up the men in Fort Valley with help from Byron Police and Peach County deputies.
No, they leave these stories off. They seem to miss these illegal stories. They seem to miss the stories of women and children being targeted and raped. These are children. A 14-year-old's a child targeted and raped across this country. They seem to miss these stories here. Illegals. But if, give me number 65, but then again, the true reason they miss these stories is so they can continue to register them to vote. Can't make any of this up. All right, can't make any of this up. So last week, Mike Waltz, the governor of Minnesota, the little flighty guy that did the bird dances when he come out on stage, that had jazz hands. I mean, whatever. Tell me that old boy ain't gay. Flintstones type gay. Flintstones. There's a difference in gay and there's a difference in Flintstones type gay, right? So, anyhow, Texas finds thousands of illegal immigrants registered to vote on state voter rolls. And that was, I have that right here. That was published October 21st, 2025, that at 3:05 a.m. Oh, so it was about 55 minutes in the making when I tuned in this morning. Texas finds thousands, right? Now, give me a Texas election review 66. Texas election review has identified thousands of illegal immigrants on the state's voter rolls, Secretary of State Jane Nelson said Monday. Now, I will say this, there's thousands on the Texas voter roll, but the Secretary of State doesn't seem to find them on the Georgia voter roll. No, we can't find them on the Georgia voter roll. No can do. Can't find them, but Nelson said a cross-check of state voter records found that more than 2,700 possible illegal immigrants were registered on the voter rolls, leading to an eligibility review across the 254 counties. The data came from a full comparison of Texas' 18 million registered voters against federal citizenship records in the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services SAFE database. So they took the citizenship database and cross-referenced it with the registered voters. Well, there's a hell of a concept, right? That whole cross-reference. Well, isn't that one hell of a concept? So you do know that technology today and these fancy high-powered computers, you can dump this data here and you can dump this data here, and you can tell that fancy computer separate the data and kick out the bad potato chip over here so we don't put it in the bag. Oh, you can do that nowadays. Yeah, it can happen. They found them in Texas, Minnesota, very upfront. We played you the video. Minnesota, very upfront with their law stating that anyone can get a driver's license, and anyone who gets said driver's license, right? Anyone who gets said driver's license can vote. But let's, as a country, number 64, governors, deep state, corporate, corrupt media completely and totally gloss over these kind of stories. I've told you this before, and I'm going to say it again at the risk of angering some. Now, this is a 14-year-old girl, right? Now, remember, was it Ohio? Where the young girl was driven, was driven across state lines, that was raped. Remember that? I mean, I'm just going, this is one of those pulling the memory bank here. Driven, young lady was raped in Ohio, could not get an abortion, driven across state lines to get the abortion. Long story there. You can look that up. Democrats truly, to me, only care about rape, a woman, especially a 14-year-old child being raped, when they get the opportunity to kill a baby. That's right. I did not justify, I did not make it okay to rape any young lady, 14, any. I did not tell you what choice you should make. I did not say that. I just said, once raped and you become pregnant, that's when Democrats truly get interested, because there's the possibility of murdering a baby, and that's when they will get involved. But a 14-year-old young Guatemalan girl that was probably brought here, raped on the way, no outrage. All right, let me get away from that for just a moment so we could say Trump, the judge said, and I think this is incorrect. I just want to put this up quickly before we move any further. The judge said that, hold on, we'll get there. Give me number. Oh, they're all upset about the White House renovations. We shall jump into that in just a moment. Oh, they're upset about those White House renovations. I have to have this one after the break. I want to do this one. And then it'll be time to get to our Russia. White House shut down. All right, number 111. I want to put this with this segment here. Illinois and City of Chicago asked Supreme Court to block National Guard deployment. The Oregon governor is upset because the judge has overruled 112 Oregon governor on ruling. The judge said Trump can nationalize the Oregon National Guard. Oregon remains united in its fight against this unwanted, unneeded military intervention in Oregon. We will continue to show up for our neighbors, make our voices heard. And 113, appeals court allows Trump to send troops. 114. Now, I think, give me 116. Appeals court lifts block on Trump's Oregon troop deployment. Now, deployment, let me get this straight. You can send me a message, but what the court said is Trump can federalize the Oregon National Guard and deploy them, meaning he can, a deployment, he could deploy them into Portland, meaning he has control to move them and command what he wants to happen. But what I don't think the court said, and check this out, that he can nationalize the Texas National Guard and deploy them across state lines into Oregon. So I'm not for sure. But I think right now the court has said Trump can nationalize the Oregon National Guard and deploy them into Portland, and that's upheld by the court. Because the other day we brought it to you. I knew this was going to happen because the other day we brought that to you, that the court, right, the Supreme Court said these lower, they didn't say, quote, this, but they said ruling that these lower rogue district court judges cannot keep overreaching with these decisions that have national implication over and above the commander-in-chief. And that's what you're seeing there. Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back We got to get our Russia story finished, but we have a couple more. We have Virginia. We have New York City, Australia, Putin. We'll be right back after these messages.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and you're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. Hi, Diane. I want to just say thank you to everyone. I get message through Facebook. I get message through X. I get messages through Rumble. I get messages through YouTube, through the text message number that we have on the line there. And I just want to make sure, I want to make sure that I'm always saying thank you. I can't get to every one of the platforms, and I try. But you guys are great. So 103, I told you this yesterday. I am concerned. I'm concerned with the Venezuelan boats, the Colombian boats, what our lawmakers are considering illegal out in international waters. Let me see if I have one here I wanted to run through. I don't think I put one of international waters up this morning. But that being said, I said yesterday, what I'm concerned about, I am concerned about the cartels given the green light to kill Trump. Now, relax. So we have, I know I had it here just a moment ago, and I will get it back for you. Remember, we have the tree stand. And I don't think I cropped that out because I thought, well, maybe we shouldn't put that one up. I think that's what it is. But remember, we have the tree stand. There it is. Sniper stand, number 51. Now, Colombia recalls ambassador to U.S. amid diplomatic feud. All right. And number 51, remember yesterday, sniper's nest found pointing at U.S. at Air Force One landing zone, right at the departure from Palm Beach Airport, right where Air Force One lands. This sniper's nest that they're calling it was found. And I said yesterday, with the Venezuelan boats, Maduro cartels, Colombian cartels are operating in this country, deportations, MS-13, Trandiagua gangs. Now, you have to watch the subtitles. You have to watch the subtitles. And give me number 62. Just in, Colombia's president, Petro, wraps his Univision interview by saying that if real Donald Trump won't change, the solution is to get rid of Trump. You got to listen to the subtitles. He's speaking Spanish. Give me video 5.
Muchas gracias, señor presidente, por esta extensa conversación en vivo. Me voy con preocupación.
Obvio,
pero
preocupante la situación.
Pero
¿qué vida no
espero
tiene
que usted
preocupaciones?
encuentre la sabiduría y el pragmatismo para salir de esto.
Ya veremos. Lo tengo. El problema es que dudo que eso esté en la mente de Trump. Pero confío en que la reserva democrática de las instituciones norteamericanas, que no aún existe en Colombia, sean capaces de poner la ciencia y la verdad por encima de la calumnia y la soberbia y la codicia.
Su misión no es cambiar a Trump.
No.
Su misión es buscar la mejor negociación posible para los millones de colombianos que dependen de esos empleos y de esa
economía. La humanidad tiene una primera salida y es cambiar a Trump. De diversas maneras. Puede ser por el mismo Trump, la más fácil. Si no, sácala a Trump.
Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Now, I have to tell you, Trump is living damn dangerous. Now, he is. Trump is living damn dangerous. All this King's bullshit, all right? He's living dangerous. Colombia, I know in my lifetime there's never been a president that stood up to Colombia, never been a president that stood up to Venezuela, never been a president in my lifetime to stand up to these gangs and the destruction of our inner city as he is standing up to them. There's never been a president in my lifetime stand up to Europe and try to make peace in the Middle East and Russia. Now, I say try. Many of you criticize what he does worldwide, internationally. I get it. Get rid of him. That was tough, but keep that in mind. That is out there. Now, moving right along, right here. Now, I want to go to elections briefly here. Number 36. I'm not going to get to my AI story today, and I want to get to that, and I will this week. I want to talk about AI this week. So, in New York City, we have the Muslim, communist, Mamdani, Zohran Mamdani. The Democrat. Now, he has not been endorsed by Hakeem Jeffries. He's not got an endorsement from Chuck Schumer. They were a nervous wreck because it says Democrat and Zohran Mamdani. Now, a Republican has won in New York City. Rudy Giuliani, he won the mayor's race in New York City. When he ran as a Republican, Michael Bloomberg, which let's not go into that, he won in New York City. Now, the independent is Mario Cuomo. And I don't know if this is just the crook, the corruption, I don't know if this is just the corruption they know. Because the Cuomo family, Andrew, well, this is Andrew. Mario, the dad, the governor of New York. Andrew was governor of New York. This is the guy that if a trial was held, evidence would be presented, and he would probably be convicted of murder during the COVID time of senior citizens in nursing homes. This is the guy that had to resign the governor's mansion. Kathy Hochul was lieutenant governor. She was not elected there. She was lieutenant governor, got elevated from this guy here because of all of his inappropriate wanting to smooch. This guy's had to make a campaign promise. Andrew Cuomo's had to make a campaign promise that if and when elected, he will keep some distance from the gals around him. He will not get touchy-feely, anything like that, smooching. This is a campaign promise he had to make. So they're angry at Curtis Sliwa. Now, Curtis has a little bit of a past, but who doesn't have a little bit of a past? Bada bing, bada boom, right? Curtis got a little bit, but Curtis is a good guy. Curtis has run as a Republican. He is the Republican on the ticket. He won the Republican nomination. Now, Cuomo did not win the Democrat nomination. They're mad. Curtis won't get out. Now, I said yesterday, I was pondering number 34, right? Now, Eric Adams got out. He got out. The New York Post, far from an angel, Curtis Sliwa checkered past catches up to him as calls for him to ditch the New York City mayoral campaign hits a crescendo, right? Number 35. Just walk away. Just walk away. Get out. Get out. Right? Even his allies tell Sliwa to drop mayor bid. Don't let Zonrani win. Now, he's the guy that they're attacking, saying, don't let this Muslim win. Get out of the way so the criminal next to you can win. Give me number 33. No, I don't want 33 right now. Give me video 2.
The elite. You see, they're trying to push me out. And they're trying to silence you. You, the hard-working people that make this city work. They haven't recognized you or come to your aid at all. The old ways have been the worst ways, but now they suddenly come to you and they want your vote. No, no, no. We mobilize. We hit the streets. You are the volunteers who are going to help me take back this city. That's why you've got to join me on this Saturday, the first day of early voting, when I cast my vote and we get all the Sliwa supporters out there in force to cast their votes, because the billionaires are not going to determine who the next mayor is. You, the people, will.
Now, Curtis says very clearly that Adams took the money. He took a deal. Now, I don't know how much I will play of this, but let's play a little bit of Curtis. I don't think there's any bad words. I don't think so. on The Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God. Give me video 4, Diane.
Let me tell you straight up, the billionaires are not going to determine who the next mayor of New York City is. Let the people decide. I trust people. I don't trust billionaires. I don't trust the professional political class. They are not going to choose the mayor. Let the people decide. If they choose Orhan Mandami, I'm not running away. Like Andrew Cuomo said, oh, if he becomes mayor, I'm going to run to Florida. I stay. I improve. I don't move. I was born in New York. They tried to kill me in New York. The Gattis and Gambino shot me 5 times with hollow point bullets in June of 1992. And even when I survived, I never had armed security after that. Today, I walk into your studios here. I have armed security with me, former NYPD cops. Why? Because I wouldn't take the payout from the billionaires to drop out.
How much did they offer you? I saw you on the news a few weeks ago say that. You was like, if one more billionaire calls me and offers me money to drop out, I'm going to record the call and put it out.
They'll be talking to Alvin Bragg, the DA. But
how much did they offer
$10 million with Jeeves, stretch limo, chauffeur, no-show job. Eric got the same offer.
What you polling at? Like, what, 17%? 30?
Excuse me?
What are you polling at right now?
15%.
About 15, 17%.
Yeah.
I'd have took that $10 million.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
What's wrong with you?
Man, there ain't no
you said
price.
Eric got the same offer? And put it back in the community.
Of course he got it. You
so
know, he was playing.
Why Eric dropped out? Because he
was playing The Price is Right. You know, Bob Barker's old show, The Price is Right. Finally, he got his price. And he was one and done. Let's face it. He was auditioning all that time. Like Monty Hall, let's make a deal. Door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. He never.
Eric Adams was one and done. He was auditioning. I love that. Eric Adams was one and done. He was auditioning. He took the payout. That's what Curtis says. If one more billionaire calls him. Now, give me number 33. Now, keep this in mind before we move. And the only reason I want to do this is they're going to, even Chuck Schumer and Jeffries are really nervous. Now, look at the New York City race, right? Mondani is at 43. The status Cuomo smooches is at 29. And Sliwa is at 19. All right? That's the poll. They think that if Sliwa will move out of the race, right, Cuomo could get his vote and beat Mondani. But keep this in mind. They they do not want a Muslim mayor in New York City. I get that. They don't want a socialist, a communist in New York City, but they're ready to opt for what I consider an enormous criminal, a well-known, my opinion, is one of the most criminal guys to ever run a state, is who they want Curtis to get out so he can win. All right, so look here. The governor's race in Virginia, as you can see there, is tightening up. That race is definitely tightening up. And I want to come back to the Russia. Let me make sure I wrap up. I'm not going to get into the Marjorie Taylor Greene. All right, what do you think about? I have to tell you, the New Jersey race. Give me. Actually, 90. Number 90, Democrats spending more on ads in 3 biggest elections this November. New Jersey, Mikey Sherrill. There's Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican. That's one race. New Jersey, they're nervous about. 91, Spamberger. The Winsome Sears in the white, Spamberger in the blue in Virginia, and 92. Democrats have an advertising advantage in this year's biggest election. So far, Democrats aligned groups have spent more than $66 million asking Californians to vote yes. Now, keep that in mind. We have to have campaign finance reform in this country. But they've spent $66 million asking the people of California to vote yes, all right, so that they can redistrict California. California's constitution calls for, the voters call for an independent panel to redistrict their state every time there's a census. So Gavin Newsom put it on the ballot out there to change that so he can redistrict California to try to get 5 more Democrat congressional seats. So now I want to ask you a question. What say you? 98. Does this bother you to see the White House, the demolition 105? They're building a ballroom. Now, although President Trump says that the ballroom will be paid for 100% from donors, will not have, here you go, here's another pick, 119. Now, obviously, this is going to be the transition into the ballroom that's being built from the White House. That's why they're doing the demo on the back. This will be the transition. The media is running this because I have to tell you, it's not a good look. It's not. People are like, well, wait a minute, the government shut down. I'm just telling you, out there in that big, wide open field called the US of A, the government shut down. People could be out of a job. SNAP, kids may not get their SNAP, the food money next month. Different things are going on. Military's wondering how long will they get paid. I mean, all the normal things that the media creates a narrative about is going on while the White House is getting a new ballroom. You can't say, but we're not paying for it. It doesn't matter. Americans right now, $37 trillion in debt. Personal debt is crushing Americans. A lot of Americans can't buy a home, can't buy groceries. Things are going through the roof. They just don't want to hear about a ballroom. But then again, that's Trump. So yesterday, Trump was asked, a deal was made for rare earth minerals with the Prime Minister Albanese. They strike a deal 99. 97, they strike a rare earth mineral deal. So 101, they're upset. They're upset that Tylenol, the parent company of Tylenol, is upset that the FDA is going to require them to put new labeling on their boxes and their bottles concerning autism. They're upset over that. 102, how about Amazon Web Services going down yesterday? And Amazon Web Service outage hits users worldwide. I hear there was a major panic yesterday when the kids could not get their Starbucks app to work. I'm serious. That's what they're reporting. 100. Here is Argentina peso weakens. So bailout, and I'm not Volcker. It's not unusual. It's happened in the past that we prop up someone's currency to keep them floating for multiple different reasons. This is not the first time we have propped up a foreign country's currency. And they're saying it doesn't seem to be working in Argentina. Just saying. All right, so we're going to take a break, come back. When we come back, wrap up some of our Russia discussion that I think is very important, and then we'll get into the Georgia Hour.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting edge digital technology and state of the art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second to none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching BKP Politics on voiceofruralamerica.com. At 10 o'clock, it'll be the Georgia Hour, and the weasel will reappear. Just saying. The weasel reappears at 10 o'clock on the Georgia. I can't help it. Was that wrong? Now, Donald Trump, we talked this morning about Russia. We opened up. I may have bored the daylights out of you concerning number 82, Russia meeting with Trump in Alaska. Right? Now, this is, they're supposed to meet again in Budapest. So, number 49, we talked about this, that Kennedy and Khrushchev, this is apparently been released by classified documents, Russian classified documents, concerning this bridge, Kennedy-Khrushchev World Peace Bridge from Russia to Alaska. Now, that being said, thank you, Bill Quinn of the Georgia Record. It was a great conversation yesterday. But that being said, why did Trump meet with Putin in Alaska this last time? So, give me number 56. As you can see, this is from Sputnik. You got to go to Russia for this. This is what is being reported there. Russian-Alaska tunnel would unlock a brand new artery for global trade. Here's how. Special presidential envoy Dmitriev rocked X with a fantastic sounding idea. So this is out there. This is out there. This comes, give me number 55. Russian Alaska tunnel would unlock, and you see the tunnel and the two islands in the international continental date line there, right? We showed you that this morning. Maybe that's why Trump met with Putin in Alaska. Just saying. Now that's out there. So, number 57. Russia ready to move in direction set during Alaska summit. They're ready to move in the direction that was set in the Alaska summit with Trump. Now, Russia won. Europe has always been in the way. Europe has always been in the way. Now, give me number 53. You have the Russian occupation since 2022, right? Then you have the Russian occupation territory up to 2025. The Donetsk and Luhansk, it's hard to pronounce some of these Ukrainian Russian words. But that being said, Ukraine has to give up territory. Russia's never flinched from day one. So, CNN video 12.
On Friday, Ukraine's president will join a meeting of his country's main allies in London. This comes after a contentious meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. We are learning from European officials briefed on the matter that Trump once again raised his voice at the wartime leader after Mr. Zelensky pushed back on handing over Ukrainian territory to Russia as part of a potential peace plan. Kristen Holmes reports from the White House.
So, when you don't get your way, is that 80? There it is. Thank you, Diane. War and Peace. When you don't get your way, you run immediately to 109. So when you come to the United States and you don't get your way and you report, you run straight to the UK, you run to the French, you run immediately and cry that Trump yelled at you again. And I don't know what happened behind those closed doors, but I'm going to predict that President Trump said, look, I'm going to end this war. You got it? Because as president of the United States, I have the power to normalize trade relations with Russia. I have the power to move forward on some things with Russia. And when I do, you get nothing. They can roll right over you. Now, give me video 9. Trump's been trying to tell this little sawed off front. Video 9.
Territory that it had lost to Russia. He's trying to clarify, essentially saying that he doesn't know if they would win the war, and he never said they would win the war, but instead that they maybe could win the war. Listen.
Well, they could. They could still win it. I don't think they will, but they could still win it. I never said they would win it.
Now, this comes on the heels of even more reporting about that meeting between Zelensky and President Trump on Friday. We had reported already that it had been tense, direct, at times, quote unquote, uncomfortable. But now we're learning that it went beyond that. Points, one source saying that voices were raised, that President Trump grew frustrated, particularly because he was trying to encourage Ukrainian President Zelensky that he was going to have to give up land, that Zelensky was kind of pushing back on that notion, and President Trump grew frustrated. Now, we know that this...
Give me 110. Right? So Zelensky is going to go meet with main allies in London Friday, with his main allies over there. Trump will meet with Putin. Zelensky knows that Zelensky knows he's got to give up land. That's just all there is to it. He has to. The war is over. Trump knows that he could have just rolled in there, Russia, if they wanted to. Putin has been very clear on the Tomahawk missiles. So we shall see what the outcome of this is. All right, take that down. We got to get ready for the Georgia Hour. Oh, by the way, number 50. He's going to go over and meet with his main allies. What's the story here, right? The French. Sarkozy's going to jail. Everything we know about the jewelry heist there, the world-famous museum in Paris, where the crown jewels, we just hope they didn't get Bridget's jewels. Bridget, right? Macron's other half. We hope that they didn't steal Bridget's jewels. I just had to say that. Take that down. I know. All right, so they're in court trying to drop the charges for Comey. Amazon 102, the web service went down. It went down. I cannot do this story here because I've only got a couple minutes. But when the web service went down, they were all upset they couldn't order their lattes. Number 10, keep in mind, we're worried about this little brave soul. Greta, I was tortured, beaten, and starved by Israel. We're worried about Greta. Has anybody checked on her? It was the saddest story when she got... All right, so Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do I have that here? I want to play this one because we got time. Joe Rogan and Fetterman talking about why Trump resonates. And Joe Rogan, we don't need the notification on bad words. He says BS. He says the S word, but we'll go there. Give me video 3. I thought this was an interesting clip before we get to the George Hour. Video 3.
It's the polish of speaking like a congressman, like a senator, like a presidential candidate. But it's this kind of bullshit way of communicating that's inauthentic, that even though it's effective, even though it's polished and smooth, people never get a sense of who that person is as a human being. Well, Trump is not polished. He's not polished in that sense, but you get a sense of who he is as a human being. There doesn't seem to be a veil. There doesn't seem to be this disconnect between a human being and the thoughts. You might not agree with him. You might think he's crass or rude, but at least you know that he's the guy that's talking. These are his thoughts, and people trust that way more than they trust someone who's, polished but full of shit.
Yeah, no, it's that Scarface. It's like, word and balls.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, and that's, you're losing politically if you're telling people to not believe what their eyes are.
If you're telling people not to believe what their eyes are seeing, you're losing politically. Let's see, which one do I want to give me? 46. I can't do the AI story right now. We'll do that one this week. Pay attention to this. Momentum builds in Washington for lifting Syria sanctions. Keep that in mind. All right, stay with that one. Oh, by the way, the AI video 41, where Trump, the pilot, the danger zone. Kenny Loggins blasts Trump for using Danger Zone in AI video mocking no kings. Well, first of all, Kenny Loggins, shut the hell up. This is the only way we know you're alive. I mean, I didn't even know Kenny Loggins was alive. I wasn't going to be mean. I never intended to be mean, but I would not be doing the Kenny Loggins tribute on this program if, I wake up tomorrow and he's no longer. I thought he was gone. So you should thank Trump for, getting everybody to realize you're still alive. So it's time for the Georgia Hour. Now, in the Georgia Hour, we have a lot going on today. I'm going to play something and have you take notice of something. See if I can find it during the break on the Georgia Hour concerning one of the races. Now, last night, I'm sorry. Did you see every time something happens, Marco Rubio gets the job? Did you see now that they have Marco Rubio as the Florida Gators head coach now? Marco Rubio's always he's the head coach of the Florida Gators because he got fired. How about those dogs, right? How about those dogs? So my brother-in-law went to the game. He's in Pennsylvania. My brother-in-law went to the game, and I kept trying to get in touch with him, and I couldn't get him on the phone. And I understand he's busy, but I finally got him on the phone yesterday. Finally got my brother-in-law on the phone yesterday. And when he got on the phone, all I could say to him, I just said, how about those dogs? Anyhow, that being said, college football and buyouts. All right, so the Georgia Hour, we will be here 10 o'clock on the dot, Georgia Hour. We got a lot to go over today as the weasel reappears. Take a break.
Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender, we take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic Embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
This is a special report.
Knowing how to invest your money is harder than ever before. Dealing with stock market volatility, record debt, and terrorist attacks requires new thinking. At U.S. Asset Management, we can help you see the world more clearly so that you can move beyond the chaos and invest with confidence. Call us, visit us online, or drop by our office. U.S. Asset Management, helping you make better decisions with your money.
Mesquite Grill, now offering online ordering for your convenience. Check out our new website at mesquitegrillbr.com. That's mesquitegrillbr.com. The great food and service you have come to expect, ready for you when you arrive. Open 7 days a week with a fully stocked bar and friendly service. Bring your furry friends with you and dine on our pet-friendly patio. Also, check out our catering options and let us prepare delicious food for your next event.
At Days Chevrolet in Jasper, we're proud because for more than 65 years, we've built a legacy of trust for the families we serve. That's why 80% of our business comes from repeat customers and referrals. When you treat folks as well as we do, word is bound to get around. Days Chevrolet in Jasper, family first since 1959. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Together, let's drive.
Larry's Body Shop in Ellijay. Family owned and operated since 1978. The latest in cutting-edge digital technology and state-of-the-art equipment allow our iCard Gold Class certified technicians to restore your vehicle. Our second-to-none customer service will work directly with your insurance company. Major accident or minor fender bender. We take the dents out of accidents. Larry's Body Shop, North Georgia's #1 body shop. Visit us at collisiondecision.com.
Why give your money to liberal media companies? Put your marketing needs in the hands of a conservative marketing professional and start getting results today. FYN Media Group, one of the top digital marketing agencies in Georgia, specializes in website design and hosting, social media promotion and management, and so much more. Visit FYNmediagroup.com or call 706-889-3564 for a free consultation.
Welcome to El Rey Azteca Mexican Restaurant. We invite you to indulge your senses with our from-scratch authentic Mexican food. Whether you are hungry for fajitas or the El Rey Azteca burrito, we offer a wide variety of fine Mexican dishes, drinks, and desserts. Our inviting patio, indoor seating, and bar has a seat for everyone. So come to El Rey Azteca for delicious food, great drinks, good friends, and loads of fun in a casual and friendly atmosphere.
Ladies, when you wear elegant jewelry, you become a force to be reckoned with. You shine brighter than the stars in the sky, and your inner beauty radiates like the sun. So embrace the magic, embrace the elegance, and let your jewelry be a reflection of your true, authentic self. My friends over at North Georgia Diamond know what a woman wants. Go see them for the perfect gift. And remember, when it comes to elegance, there's no such thing as too much. Come see us at North Georgia Diamond. We're igniting passion one sparkle at a time.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi. How are you? How's your mom and them? Well, just checking. You don't have to get all bent out of shape. So yesterday, I'm rushing around. I was doing a couple things. I was not prepping for the Georgia Hour. I was prepping. Don't try this at home, children. Don't want the children's. We don't want the children's. Don't try this at home. But I was actually prepping for my cigar hour. I'm sorry. I said that out loud. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching. Let me start that all over. Those 2 hours have come and gone. And that's why it's time, October 21st, 2025, a little chill on the pumpkin, a little frost outside. Has it frosted yet? Your host, BKP, the Georgia Hour, brought to you by voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, so yesterday I come on here. Oh, wait a minute. Diane, did I send you? I don't think I sent this to you. My gosh. I just can't get right. Did anybody understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I can't get right. Do you remember can't get right? Hold on. Diane, I don't have time to throw a number on this. I got to get it over to you. I had 11 minutes, but I forgot. I've had 2 hours. So yesterday, I shared with you a phone call that I had with Greg Dolezal, number 17, right? And yesterday, I thought it was appropriate yesterday not to reference him as the Weasel. Just wondering, right? And I shared number 25, Greg Dolezal, in his picture with Fulton County Chairman Rob Pitts, right? I would have never done that. But again, yesterday, I think I made it through the entire program without a single comment or referencing him as the Weasel. And just like that, do you have that? Do you have the one I just sent you? Is that ready? The Weasel reappears. Now, this is Scott Howard. This is his Substack. Jeff Duncan 2.0, a fake MAGA warrior with deep establishment ties. Now, this is a deep dive into the Weasel. Just saying. Scott, I don't think that's nice. I don't think you should be doing that, Scott. Sorry. So you can go over to Scott Howard's Substack. That's Scott Howard, his Substack. Jeff Duncan 2.0, a fake MAGA warrior with deep establishment ties. Greg Dolezal, the Weasel. So the Weasel reappears on the Georgia Hour just like that. So take that down. Now, let's go to 23. Now, yesterday, I attended Fannin County Republican Party meeting last night. I've got something I have to share with you that was said by a member of the State Board of Elections, Janelle King. And there was something about Janelle's comments last night, and I have the video, that about as strong as, and I know Janelle for years, Janelle made some of the strongest comments. Well, we'll get into that. I know what you're saying, but I'm going to share a little with you. So this is our PSC race, and we have the two guys on the top, the guy in the glasses, Tim Echols, and Fritz, right? Is that his name? They're the Republicans. So yesterday, this came out, number 77. Now, this did not include yesterday's vote, as I'm aware of, yesterday's vote or today. But this came out yesterday, total votes cast. All right, 53% Democrat, 33% Republican, and swing unknown 13.977. So I called the individual that put this out. And they have a team. And this individual went through all 14 districts in Georgia. And we are in not a single district, as far as Republicans, on the Public Service Commission race, are we where we should be at this point with voting in a single district. Even the strongest Republican districts. And they have a team that broke this down. And I talked to the individual that is running the data. And the team they have that broke this down, the problem with the swing unknown, that vote is coming from areas that are not Republican friendly. So the 13.977% is where the true ugly lies. And what I mean by that is when I talked to this individual that put these numbers up yesterday, and I wanted to get, as soon as it came out, I sent the individual a message. I said, can you talk to me? And they gave me like a 40-minute breakdown yesterday, and also told me the team that they had running the data analysts they had, very respectable group. And he didn't send it to me per district, but he read each district. And some of the districts, we're right there where we're okay. But for the most part, Republicans are underwater in all districts. But then he said, here's the alarming problem we have, is the swing and unknown. And he said, because the swing and unknown vote is coming from areas that are not Republican friendly. And I trust this data and the individual I'm talking to. I'm going to be at the end of the week, Friday, on the close, we're going to be talking again, and they're going to be running the data. So we'll keep up with this. So let's go back just briefly to number, where did I have old Fitz at? And what's his name? There's the weasel. I can always find the weasel. Oh, there they are. It's on the screen. Diane. Boom. Just like, I think Diane was thinking, I bet he'll want to put this back up. So I received this message because I have people all around the state, and we do. We have people all around the state that send me updates on any and everything. And just saw this came in, just saw another ad opposing Echols and Fitz Johnson there. This is now 3 separate ads they have been running for over a month on Roku. All right. They have targeted ages and color for marketing. I haven't seen a single thing outside of you talking about this race Where is the GOP? Oh, wait, they are too busy going after their own members instead of actually focus on winning a race. I just thought I'd throw that in. It's actually on the text. I just thought I would read that also. Please call this out. I will say anything if the Dems show up. We don't. These seats are gone. Now, I will tell you, that's kindly the email that went out yesterday from one district. One district put out an email yesterday I'm going to define it as a panic. Because as I'm telling you on this program, Republicans have control of the Public Service Commission. And on the Republican side, we have some problems. And generally, I would probably say, and let's see, I didn't want to go here. Generally, I would probably say that, well, if we lose these two races, we could learn a lesson. I've actually had people say, well, what if Republicans would lose a race? Maybe we'll wake up. Maybe we'll actually get Republicans again. Maybe we'll get representatives and state senators and constitutional officers that understand that we the people and not the lobbyist. And I've had people send me messages and say this could be a good thing. And I'm not telling you that Republicans don't need the ultimate wake-up call in Georgia. I'm not telling you that. They may need the ultimate wake-up call in Georgia. My concern is I do want President Trump to have a Republican voice in the Senate that he could put pressure on to help him in the last 2 years of his administration, because it's going to be tough. We're going to lose a Republican or two. I don't think we're going to lose the Senate. I don't think so. We could lose a Republican or two in the Senate. And Georgia needs to be a pickup for President Trump. Second, I will talk about the governor's mansion at a different time because we have to make major changes to the governor's mansion. Well, you know what's going on. You're not new to the show. My wheels are spinning and my wheels are saying, well, you know what they're saying. They're advising me not to say it. Right? And what happens anytime I'm being advised by myself, as crazy as it sounds, not to say it? Well, here you go. This is what happens if you're new to the show. Ask your Republican. I want you to. I want you to ask your Republican representative and your Republican state senator, state rep, state senator, the next time you see them. Because Republicans, I pretty well think, will maintain majority in the state house and state senate. But ask your representative, say, hey, what happens? What do we do about how do we combat if Estevez or Jeff Duncan or a Democrat, how do we battle if a Democrat wins the governor's mansion? And here's what I'm going to put a little bit of ching-ching on, all right? Cheddar or whatever the kids are calling it now. but I'm going to put a couple bucks on and let it ride, that if you ask your state representative or state senator, hey, what happens if a Democrat wins the governor's office? They may come back and say, we have already planned. We've already got a plan in place, right? It's the nuclear option. We have a plan in place that we will strip the governor. Republicans in the House and Senate will come together and we will strip the governor of all the powers in the governor's office, and they won't be able to do anything. Now, that's what you'll be told. And you have to stop and think. Then you look at them and say, so what you're telling me is we actually should be stripping some of the powers out of the governor's office, but only if it's a Democrat in there, not a Republican. Because trust me, I'm looking at how do we get the wake-up call we need as Republicans to adjust the power in the governor's office that must be adjusted and stop the House of Representatives and the state Senate from operating under the umbrella of lobbyists and back to the people. How do you do that? Could you lose one of these races and they go, uh-oh? Now, I want to wrap this up by saying something I do every day on this program. If we lose these races, I will be going, I don't endorse. And when I say that I don't endorse, is endorsing means I'm telling you how to vote or requesting you vote like I do. I'm not doing that. But I will be legally voting for Tim Echols and Fitz Johnson on Election Day. I'll be going and casting a vote for them. Because if they lose, let me show you something here. This is what's happening right now. California, New Jersey, and Virginia. Now, this is, give me number 92. I'll just show you this briefly, and then let's move on. Democrats have an advertising advantage this year's biggest elections. So far, they're spending $66 million in California just for a vote yes on a measure dubbed the Election Rigging Response Act. Meaning in California, they want to change their rules so they can redistrict and gain 5 seats. Democrats are spending a record amount of money on New Jersey, Virginia, and California. Just think what they will spend if they smell blood in the water, of all places, Georgia. And I'm telling you now, if we don't get the rural vote out, now the municipal vote, I know you're tired of it, but the municipal vote goes most part for Democrats. Because your city council, your mayor, all across the state are on the ballot, and people are going out and voting for their mayor, their city council, and a lot of those bring out Democrats. But if you're out in the county, I mean, I said to this individual yesterday, we should have, I was talking to a person last night. I'm going to say this out loud. All right. Now you may have, but Pickens County, Gilmer County, Fannin County, Union County, and Towns County, all the way up through here, should have spent at least $5,000 a county on some billboards and some geofencing on social media ads of get out the vote. Should. All the way up through here. I said that out loud right now. I'll say it out loud again. Maybe some people are doing it in your area. But if rural Georgia does not go out and vote because there's only a PSC race on the ballot and Democrats win, watch what they parlay that into next November. So take that down. Let's get past that. Give me right here. Don't forget, all right, the Jackal of Georgia, number 3. Dennis must go. We'll talk about that later. Right? Dennis must go. And so this morning in the AJC, I just want to put it up there. Where are we at here? Give me number 74. Oh, that's Dennis. Jackal of Georgia. Georgia Power says answer to state's data center surge is more natural gas. Now, folks, how did Georgia become the Wild West of data centers? How? Right? Who's being enriched by these major projects? Whose pockets are being lined? Georgia Power officials will make their case to state regulators beginning Tuesday to build gas-fired power plants and add solar and battery storage to the power grid over the next 5 years to support an unprecedented amount of electricity demand driven by data centers. Now, Plant Vogel, remember, go back, do your own research, don't go for mine. And remember, Plant Vogel was going to give us all the power we needed into infinity and beyond. Is that Buzz Lightyear? We were going to Buzz Lightyear this whole damn state to infinity and beyond from Plant Vogel, right? The nuclear power, why we're set. But what they're going to do, Georgia Power, oh, God knows we could trust Georgia Power, right? God knows we could trust Georgia Power to give us a fair estimate on increased power plants. More of them. Yes. Why, sure, they have such a track record. That being said, to support the unprecedented amount of electricity demand driven by data centers. They don't talk about the water demand, do they? The state's largest electric company wants to add to its fleet 10,000 megawatts, roughly the capacity of 10 nuclear reactors at its Plant Vogel power station near Augusta. They want to add the equivalence of 10 nuclear reactors. Now, wait just a minute. Wait a second. I mean, Plant Vogel was what? 9211, 87, $42 billion over budget, somewhere there. Give or take $1 billion, 10 to 12. Right? I mean, it was enormous. Cost overruns. And Republicans are in charge. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, where do I turn into the bad guy? Because every program, somewhere along the way, I turn into da-da-da-da, and I appear as the bad guy. Republicans are in charge. Oh, is this where I'm supposed to say we're the number one place to do business until you get a better tax break somewhere else and the movie industry leaves? Where do I say that? Does that... Diane, do you have something that's flashing up in the teleprompter for me to say that? So the state's largest company wants to add roughly the capacity of 10 nuclear reactors. Remember, Plant Vogel was going to do it. near Augusta, this amount will boost the utility power generation fleet by a historic 42%. I see a lot of cash. Give me 75. It's just a staggering amount of new capacity resources, said Bob Scherer, staff attorney with the Southern Environmental Law Center. Georgia is the fastest. Now, listen to this. Listen to this. Now, I don't remember all of these, right? Okay, I'm going to need your help. Now, damn it, put down whatever you're doing and pay attention. I'm requiring help here. We put a committee together. Now, John Burns will run and get a committee together. Bart Jones will run and get a committee together, right? They'll get a committee. Oh, yeah. They'll even put a blue ribbon panel together. I mean, you'll get a blue ribbon panel if necessary, just to make it, pump it up. And you'll get a committee on gambling. You'll get a committee on how to eliminate the state income tax, right? I mean, there's one. You get a committee with Greg Dolezal on there, a.k.a. the Weasel, on Fonnie Willis. You'll get a committee, well, about damn near everything. Can you please, and tell me where I'm wrong. Can you tell me where the governor, John Burns, right? The blue ribbon panel on election procedures. We know all the damn election procedures. They proceeded to steal the 2020 election. What do you want to proceed and do next? We know. We've researched it. We didn't need John Burns to tell us. We've been telling him. So could you please, because it says Georgia is the fastest growing market in the nation for new data centers, warehouses packed with servers that power artificial intelligence and our digital lives. Could you please send me where I missed? I want the whole schedule. I want everybody, because I'm for sure, if we were going to turn Georgia into the largest data center playground in America, we're definitely going to have impact studies, right? Environmental impact studies. We're going to have, the governor's going to put a commission together to study this, the pros and cons, if it's good for our state, if it hurts our state. Can you please send me all those committee hearings? Who was appointed? You know, John Burns. It could have been a special committee of House and Senate with the governor having a representative. I don't know. I know you're getting tired of it, right? Could you send that to me? Because I missed the committee. I found the committee that bonehead, and I mean bonehead, of a Brandon Beach throwed a 56-page gambling bill on the back door of a soapbox derby. I found that. I found where Burt Jones, the certificate of need bill, I found how that's going to help with rural hospitals, wink, wink. I find all of those other things that happen, right? I find where they all went around the state and they patted you on your head and said, we gave you back 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of a percent. We've cut taxes. And you actually came back. I think most Georgians got a check for $18.42. And then if you weren't happy with that, give them all $500. That'll shut them up. Wait to see what happens with the $14 billion as they go into vote buying mode. Did you not hear that? Because if you didn't, let's try that again. Wait to see what happens when they go into vote buying mode for $14 billion. See what happens then. It's coming. Georgia is the fastest growing market in the nation for new data centers, warehouses packed with servers that power artificial intelligence and our digital lives. Georgia Power and the data center industry say they need more power comparable to the needs of many large cities to serve them. Now, this is where you also get upset. Well, we kind of get tired of you bringing up the AJC. I mean, maybe they're not telling the truth. Maybe they're not telling the truth. Maybe they're not telling the truth. Hold on to that thought, because it is the AJC. Maybe they're not telling the truth. So, how about this one here? Because this one's troubling. I mean, I've got the nerve to say it. Now, if he wants to sit down and talk about it, I'll be glad to. But remember this one here? I had it here a minute ago. Right? Number 13. Now, you can go read the full article, right? $10 billion project backed by Burt Jones pairs hospital with wave of data centers. You see, this is that certificate of need bill out there. And then I don't have the full article, number 14. Right here. Right? Here is Bill Jones. This is his dad. Company owns near River Park Development. See the owned area, where the red area where Burt Jones' dad owns that area. And then you have the green area is what's called River Park Parcels. So he gets the certificate of need to build a hospital there in Butts County. Changed. He now can build that hospital and data centers. The lieutenant governor, who wears the red MAGA hat that got the endorsement from Donald Trump, that thinks he is just a runaway with this election, and I don't know, maybe the AJC is not telling the truth about any of this. Maybe it's the AJC. Or are they telling this just in time for the PSC race? Just in time, right? Data centers. I tell you where this gets me is it's not a dislike, but I am going to October. Oh, you guys sending me stuff on other counties? Please keep sending it. I'm trying to get a backup minute. Last night I went to Fannin County. I am trying to. Now, this past weekend I had to drive 13 hours home. Maybe this weekend I think I'll get some desk time later in the week. Please keep sending me all those things from other counties around the state. Now, on Tuesday the 28th, that's Tuesday the 28th, I'm going to be over with the MAGA group in Gainesville. And on Tuesday the 28th, I'm going to put it on recording, and I'm going to do every race a breakdown of every candidate. I'm going to. I don't carry anyone's water. I will not carry water. My name is not Martha Zoller. Martha's a very nice lady. She is. Very nice lady. Let me show you this before I finish up here. Okay? She's a nice lady. And I will say that. Number 22. But you see Derek Dooley where he goes, right? Where do they go? Martha Zoller. And I will continue to tell you, she's a very nice lady, but she carries political water. I mean, the water buckets are full, and whatever floats your boat or whatever fills your water bucket. See, I won't carry a water bucket, or maybe my water bucket's empty, and they carry a full water bucket. I don't know where I'm going with this. Now, back to the other one. Here's what gets me, and I got to get away from this, okay? And the reason I'm telling you, I'm going to do a per candidate breakdown. I've got a candidate running for, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to do that in a minute. So before I go there, I've got the power grid. Here's what I got, number 64. Now, this happened in Georgia. These are illegals. All right? These are illegals. Two Guatemalan illegals arrested in Georgia for trafficking and raping a 14-year-old girl. So I'm going to show you this, and then I'll come back and wrap up what I was going to say. Give me video 6, Diane.
New tonight, we're learning 2 men here illegally face human trafficking charges in Fort Valley. Virgilio Vasquez and Napoleon Gomez, age 38, from Guatemala, are in jail tonight. They're charged with human trafficking, rape, and child molestation. Attorney General Chris Carr's office said the men targeted a 14-year-old, also from Guatemala. About a month ago, Carr's office said their gang prosecution unit picked up the men in Fort Valley with help from Byron Police and Peach County deputies.
So I have in the governor's race, I have a candidate that is endorsed by Donald J. Trump. His name is Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. And he's wearing the red MAGA hat. And a new law that changes certificate of need requirements where you can build a hospital benefits his family. And they're probably going to be building a hospital on his property. Then I have a governor, same one, that is on the property in Butts County, right? On the property in Butts County has, boom, data centers, enormous data centers. I mean, some of the biggest data centers in the United States are in this area. Just throwing that out there. I don't want to throw the square feet because I know they'll come back and attack me, right? That's one of my candidates, right? And there's no coincidence in politics. And that candidate happens to have, in Butts County, just a coincidence, happens to have Jacqueline McCoon, the wife of who I feel has endorsed him, the GOP chairman, Josh McCoon, is the Chamber of Commerce president of Butts County. Can't make that up. And Josh is conveniently right down there, right where he needs to be. And don't forget, Burt Jones endorsed Josh McCoon right out of the box for GOP chair. Then he had they had a little private concert. You pay the ching-ching, right? You get up, the ching-ching. I don't know what the kids are saying nowadays. And you get in, and that was Jason Aldean, and that's pretty neat. But, you know, Josh McCoon was there, Sally Grubhub, and Shondi Zappendorf, all state officers of the Georgia Republican Party. They may not have endorsed Burt Jones for governor, but that sure as hell looks like it. So that's one of my candidates. Not a bad guy. I don't dislike the guy. Ooh. Anyhow, now I have a candidate for governor. His name's Chris Carr. He's the Attorney General of Georgia. And just like that, Carr has a gang prosecution unit. Well, hell, that's shocking. And just like that, when he's running for governor, his gang prosecution unit is finding people that illegal raping 14-year-old girls. Now, I did not, and help me here. Get off your ass and help me. I'm just Diane and I could use a little help. Let's find out how long they've been in this country, right? But all of a sudden, I got a governor candidate, attorney general, with a gang prosecution unit that's finding illegals. Well, hell, where you been? And then you move down, and you got Greg the Weasel and Fonnie Willis, and the only reason is not Greg the Weasel, but he's going to send you out one of these, right? You can't make. He's running for lieutenant governor. Give me number 17. Serenity now. I'm gonna need one of my anxiety pills. I'm gonna have to have one. It's a 2-cigar afternoon. All right. So he's gonna send you these out. He's gonna tell you how he stood up to Fonnie Willis. I'm like, damn. Yeah, a tiny little guy. I think Fonnie could take him. I really do. I don't think Wade has ever had to bow up on anyone around Fonnie Willis. I think she handled her business. Little Grey Goose, she kicked the Weasel's ass. Now, that being said, he'll send you out all kinds of stuff that he is, he stood up for Trump, the election, boom, 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 right? Damn. The only reason Fonnie Willis is off this case, and I will make a comment right now, get ready for it. Hang on. And I'm going to play the comment tomorrow. I could not get here last night. Give me number 30. This is it. Meet the lawyer who derailed Georgia's prosecution of Donald Trump. This is the lady right here. Not Greg the Weasel, but he's going to take money and put all these flyers out saying, boom, I guarantee you. You want a little wager? Let's roll a 20. Oh, I shouldn't do that on TV because I know who will be watching. Yes, I know. I'm sorry. They don't want me gambling on TV like this. I'm just rolling out a 20 just to say it. Make it, fun. I guarantee you the Weasel puts out a flyer with Fonnie Willis that he went after her. But this is it right here. Almost 2 years ago, Ashley Merchant sat at a desk in a cluttered back room of her Marietta law office. It was a deadline day for pre-trial motions in Fulton County. All right. Now, I have another clip. I know I have another clip from this that I want. Come on now. Hang tight. We won't lose this here. Give me number 71. Last month, Merchant succeeded in doing what many once thought was a long shot. Long shot. Right? Georgia's top court ousted Willis and her office from the election interference case by letting a lower court ruling stand. The racketeering prosecution Willis and her team have spent years assembling and now is on life support. Here's a quote. If it wasn't for her efforts, not the Weasel, if it wasn't for her efforts, the disqualification wouldn't have resulted, said Steve Sato, Trump's lead Georgia attorney. He said Merchant was the finest investigative attorney I've ever worked with. Now, okay, is it November 14th? Do I have the date correct? Who is the judge? McAfee. I got to do this all from memory. I mean, it's all rolling, and it's rolling. Judge McAfee said, all right, I'll give you guys, I think, till November 14th. If you don't come up with another DA out there that wants this case, prosecute this case, it's gone. It's out of my court. It's over. Fulton County Superior Court, Scott McAfee. Now, I do understand when he gave him 10 days that he had to give him a chance to come back and say, we're looking. And maybe they have to look, the committee that has to look for another DA, maybe they got to give it the old college try and make it appear that they're looking. Maybe. I don't think of another DA out there. But Ashley Merchant is the reason, right? Now, we're talking about all these candidates. Ashley Merchant, I know I'm getting in trouble. Well, these are Republicans. Well, my God, I didn't do this. Right? Here it is, number 25. While Ashley Merchant is doing something and getting rid of this case, the Weasel's getting his picture taken with Ron Pitts and claiming he's the one. Yeah, okay. Now, last but not least, take that down. I don't think I moved it over. I don't want that on the screen. I can't bear the sight of it. All right. Now, I don't think it's on the screen. So that being said, did you see where Brad Raffensperger won another case? Yes. So that being said, then I go to Lieutenant Governor. And Blake Tillery's a nice guy. I like him. I don't dislike Blake Tillery. He's a nice guy. I keep saying that. But he's working on trying to eliminate state income tax with a committee. A committee. Now, I have some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. Do I have to say George Strait? Is because that's his song? Do I have to give him credit for saying that? But I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you if you think that you're not going to pay state income tax and all of a sudden that money's going to go in your pocket. No, it's not. You may end up paying more. So Blake Tillery, as nice as he is, running for lieutenant governor on a committee that Burt Jones is, pumping up that we're going to end state income tax. Okay. Not insurance. Right? No, they're not going to do anything about property tax. They're really not. They talk a good fight, right? They talk a good fight. Republicans in Georgia talk a good fight, but they have no fight in them whatsoever when it comes to doing right by you and I. And that's the bottom line. So they talk about property tax. Oh, by the way, the thing where they made you think that if you just keep working hard, you'll stay in debt for the rest of your life. That whole system that they put together, car insurance, homeowners insurance, Aflac, the duck comes out. In case your insurance doesn't cover, the duck will quack 3 times and drop $1,000 on your front porch. Where do I come up with this stuff? I don't know where I don't know what happened, so don't ask. So this nice guy is running for lieutenant governor, says he's going to work on eliminating state income tax. But then on the other side, in 4 years, the state budget has gone up $10 billion. $10 billion. I wonder if any of that fell off the table in anyone's pocket. Oh, wow, I'm down to 8 minutes. Now, number 15. Let me throw this one out there while we're rolling, all right? I want to know this is something I'm holding on to. For more than 100 years, local governments have skirted the constitutional limits on some taxes because the state Supreme Court said they can call them fees. Now Georgia's new Chief Justice is wondering if the court got it wrong. Fees. Oh, serenity now. Serenity now. So, the State Board of Elections. Yeah, I've got to do this. So last night, take that down, Diane. Last night, I was at Fannin County, and I do have the video, and I am going to play the actual quotes tomorrow. I did not have time. I have them downloaded, but I didn't have time to do any editing from 9 o'clock last night and preparing for today. So, first of all, Fannin County Republican Party, Vernon Jones was there last night. All right. And he spoke. He's running for Secretary of State. And I'm going to throw, because we were in the cafeteria, we get a little spread out there, but I'm going to put out 35 people. It's a good little room, 35 people. That's what I'm going to say. And Kelvin King, who is running for Secretary of State, he spoke. And I'm going to play some of what they said tomorrow on the program. But Janelle King spoke concerning, as a representative of the State Board of Elections. A question was asked about Fulton County and the ballots and the missing ballot images. And we won't go down that road in the interest of time. And she made a very strong comment about Fulton County, that the State Board of Elections has inquired to the Department of Justice to help get those ballots. And she said, as you well know, President Trump mentioned Fulton County a couple days ago. So I raised my hand because Ed Martin, and I know when you have an ongoing investigation, folks, when you have an ongoing investigation, all right, that when you have an ongoing investigation, you can't share things. You really can't. But I wanted to know from her, since the State Board of Elections sent the letter requesting help from the Department of Justice, if Ed Martin and the Department of Justice, if they were communicating with the State Board of Election as far as progress. And I asked that question. I said, I know you may not be able to give us details based on an open investigation with the Department of Justice, but since you sent the letter, the State Board of Elections, has the Department of Justice updated you? Will they update you, State Election Board, as this progresses? And she said, I'll play it tomorrow because you'll get the full effect. She said, they're communicating with us. Trust me, they're communicating with us. So I got to the affirmative that the Department of Justice concerning Fulton County and the request from the State Board of Elections is communicating with the State Board of Elections. It's moving, is my understanding. It's moving. Now, Jeff Duncan, how can he be trusted? I'm serious. That is the question that when he goes places, they are actually asking, hey, how can we trust you, Democrats? Now, I told you yesterday, Jeff Duncan has, and I'm going to be direct with you, he has assembled, right? Give me number 68. He's assembled a very strong team, right? And here's a snapshot of Duncan dynamic at the North Fulton Dems meeting, where he was asked why lifetime Democrats should trust him. Do you know why Democrats haven't won in 30 years? So just to upset you, cause you to lose your breakfast, throw things at the TV, let's get a minute of Jeff Duncan yesterday at North Fulton Democrats meeting answering the question why he should be trusted. Video 8, Diane.
So I know I'm a young Dem in Georgia. I'm the chair for Women's Caucus. I know that every time your name comes up, all young Dem in Georgia say that you're not actually a Democrat because where have you been and what work have you been doing? How are you going to win us over and show us that you are actually doing work to help support all of these causes that you've raised?
Her question is, she is in the Young Dems, and that there's a large contingent of folks that talk about the fact that I'm not truly a Democrat, and that it would be hard. It might be hard to vote for me. Absolutely, I've got to work hard to earn the trust of Democrats all over the state. I've got to continue to stay strong on the issues and be able to talk through and get perspective. I'll also point back to the bipartisan work that I did as lieutenant governor. Even as a Republican, we worked hard to pass bipartisan budgets, pass hate crimes legislation, push back on the 2020 election, and a number of issues in between. But I think it's also important to recognize that, this is almost going to sound funny when I say this, but it's not. This is serious. You know why Democrats haven't won in nearly 30 years in Georgia? Because they haven't got enough votes. I'm the only candidate in the race that can get Democrats, independents, and disgusted Republicans to show up in November of 26, and for the first time in nearly 30 years since Roy Barnes in 1998 won, actually win and actually focus our budget back towards those folks that need it the most. The affordability crisis is real. We need new ideas. We need real ideas. The healthcare crisis is a challenge for families. There are folks that don't know how they're going to pay rent next month. There's folks tonight sitting in the grocery store line that don't know how they're going to pay that full bill for the groceries. There's folks that don't know how they're going to afford childcare tomorrow when they have to go to work. Those are the issues. That's why we want Democrats in charge, so that we don't have a Republican like Burt Jones.
My question was, what are you doing to support these issues and show us that you're actually a Democrat?
I'm going to every county I possibly go to. I've been to Macon. I've been to Columbus. I've been here.
Are you canvassing with Planned Parenthood? Are you going to their clinics, seeing the effects that the Big Beautiful Bill has had on them? Helping people, going to clinics?
We will go everywhere we need to go. Absolutely. We will campaign as hard as we can, and we will govern with the most fair and balanced mindsets possible. Absolutely. My job is to earn the respect of Democrats, not to just earn their vote, and that's my plan. Thank you.
All right, so obviously he thinks he's running against Burt Jones. He thinks he's running, if he is the nominee, he's running against Burt Jones. That was important, folks. We will save that. We will pick it up for later because that is very important. It is. Whether you believe it or not, he has made deals with money people. He's made deals with Never Trump, right? The organization. I will guarantee you, George, what's his name? The guy that was married to the girl that was a consultant for Trump. Kellyanne Conway, George Conway, right? The Never Trump Republican, the Mike Pence Republicans. That's a Mike Pence Republican right there. Oh, no, he's a Democrat. Oh, wait a minute. He's made deals. So he thinks he's running against Burt Jones, how can he be trusted? Number 61. And we got a lot more, but let me see if there's anything I need. I asked this earlier in the program. Have you noticed that this lovely young lady, she's a lovely, nice young lady. I don't know her, but have you noticed Marjorie Taylor Greene's daughter, Lauren Green, Marjorie has been getting her out there. I gotta be careful, my choice of words. Getting her out there. So take that down. We never leave the show without reminding people that the albino rhino, who he is, where is that damn albino rhino? Do I have him today? There he is, number 21. We never leave without the albino rhino. Let's do our end of the show. That's Brant Frost V. He's not been, well, no one's been indicted, but he did work at First Liberty Building and Loan, the $140 million Ponzi scheme. So we always remind you of the albino rhino. Then we go into number 7. Don't forget, it's seniors like this that lost everything. Always a reminder. Georgia seniors who lost everything in the Ponzi scheme. Don't forget, the people defending these people is the Jackal of Georgia, number 3. Dennis Futch must go, right? We'll throw that in there. And then number 5, down in the 1st District, we're waiting for Stu Peters to endorse Candace, right? She doesn't wear a hat, but if she's going to wear one, it'd be a Stu Peters hat. So Candace's her campaign is struggling in the 1st District, and she's really like every day, Stu Peters, I need you to hate as many Jews as you possibly can and endorse me. I just said that. That's me. That's me. And then number 8. I mean, poor little Debbie. Poor little Debbie. Well, that little Debbie, I'll do this for both of you out there. That poor little Debbie do-naster. You know, little Debbie do-shits. Georgians are suffering. Look at her there. While she's just a suffering. I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, I'll be back. Yeah, I think I'll be back. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Hi. How are you? How's your mom and them? Well, I'm just checking. You know, I have to get all bent out of shape. So yesterday, I'm rushing around. I was doing a couple things. I was not prepping for the Georgia Hour. I was prepping. Don't try this at home, children. Don't want the children's. We don't want the children's. Don't try this at home. But I was actually prepping for my cigar hour. I'm sorry. I said that out loud. I'm your host, BKP. You're watching. Let me start that all over. Those 2 hours have come and gone. And that's why it's time, October 21st, 2025, a little chill on the pumpkin, a little frost outside. Has it frosted yet? Your host, BKP, the Georgia Hour, brought to you by voiceofruralamerica.com. Now, so yesterday I come on here.